Okay, great, guys. Let's do our Monday update, September 15th. It's kind of a big update because things are really popping. A couple of the immediate opportunities that I posted in Discord. I was just talking about Wolf. Here's Wolf Speed. It's just a big turnaround play. This thing was priced to go out of business. And let me just show you guys this, which was all the way down here. It was literally, like under 50 cents back in June. And then the big signal for me was a little more than a week ago with that daily confirmation signal. And we have what's down here? Hold on. Yeah, so we have this extraordinary crab zone. There's a couple of patterns, but I am triggering off of that hop and I'm saying that's the absolute low for this. And this is a turnaround play with that daily confirmation that even if we run, I was saying this earlier. I think we could get to above 330. We go $5 easy, but I would say this whole measured zone in a recovery is possible. We've seen this on a number of turnaround plays like this, and as I've said to you guys, I'm okay now. Like the low floaters are really moving. That's one. The other one that I haven't done anything yet, but looking closely, CXAI. I've been waiting for months for this thing to get under 79 and then finish off these confirmation dots. We have one more. It's probably 68. You're 71 cents. This is just another example of a great AI speculation play, okay, on something that's basically priced to zero, but it's a perfect harmonic setup. The confirmations there. Let's say if we get this week, we buy it 65 cents or something, and it can come off this type 2 in a way that's significant, like 185, because that would be the measured objective. um I see these kind of plays happening. One or two more. The other one, I want you guys to start looking at solar. Okay, we're up here with this bearish pattern at the moment, and the longer term dynamics are actually, really of turning. And we've been looking for, I've been looking for some kind of daily oversold. Where, all right, the dot just literally went away um, this week. So that's Solar Edge Technologies, and this is another monster kind of pattern turnaround play. I think it is a much better position now to make a recovery all the way back, XA 76-ish or even higher. And just looking at these mega patterns, and we have confirmation down there. If solar's turning around, and that is definitely something to consider. These being priced for zero, and now they're turning around with patterns like this. I think where we are in the market, these are great speculative opportunities. And even if you want to go less volatile, the solar ETF, the TAN, that's just, it'll take its time, but I think that low is in, and I'd be looking for longs on this one. Even if this came back to like 38, that would be maybe as much as you get. But those are some individual plays immediately. Um, Really quick, can you guys hear me? Are we good? Somebody, give me hit the button just so I know you guys are alive. Um, all right, those are some individual things. I probably will have some kind of 3 ideas special idea. Oh, one more. Okay, the other one is on semiconductor, and perfect. It's type 2 crab pattern here, 4652. It's already completed. No confirmation yet, but I'm looking for confirmation in the next week to call it 30 days. It's getting close right there. The other, before I get to the other one, the kind of the other larger cap markets, so I'm trying to think new ideas. Okay, if we're going to get major, if these new type of either turnaround AI plays or like the quantum stocks. So the quantum stocks, they're been hanging up here all summer. They look like they're coming back and ready for a next move. That's D wave. And the last thing that we had were some daily dots right there. And this is more kind of the continuation play that you're looking for. That was back at 15. I mean, just a couple last week. The other one, this qubit, these are all that I've mentioned before. That's even better. Double dot here on qubit, 1440. I'm okay with waiting a little longer just to make sure that this is in the clear. But you see, the other one was Rigetti, guys, and that thing is moving. There's Rigetti. This is something that was the 88. Look, hit the 886. Okay, that was our target to the top side. What we're really looking for on in this kind of a move is this something much bigger, kind of larger second cycle wave, and that's what you're looking for in all these. Forget all of this. That was $1, $2 a share. You're looking for Rigetti really to go price discovery 1618 type material, $30. But if that's going to do it, then the rest will go, and it's probably um, pretty smart to be looking in at those areas. Uh, okay, really quick. So look at Meta. Damn it! I said this morning. Look, a couple of these major tech companies have popped off, and I think Meta is probably the next one to do so. And so forget like 500 back in May. Okay. It's 760. I want you guys to really be thinking this for Meta, that this is where Meta's going. So if we know that Meta's, that's a 1618, like there. So bang, come back, and then 1618 again. And so, Meta's not a 760 stock. It's an 845 creature. And it was just triggered on Friday with the check back, and today's a big move. It started out this morning down 4. Now you're up 6. Okay. And we're, losing this kind of stuff. We're doing these 5-minute pauses, go out and then fail and continue. And I say that um, because we have things like Tesla. So Tesla, great, finally realizing what we have been talking about for a year, which is getting back to resolving the weekly crab pattern, but now is the type 2. It's 444 is the XA level. It does not stop until you get to 444. And I think this is something where, based on like Broadcom and Oracle and a couple of these others, I think we're all underestimating what's truly happening. I mean, it's the whole AI thing and its impact is um, it's causing so much money to be invested into these other companies that you're now going to see it in the stock price. And I think Tesla's up next. I think all of this is undeniable. The breakout really at 365, everyone was looking at that. I think the first is an 886 swing, 444 ish is minimum, but it's more like 475, 450, 475. And you're still only 420. And that's probably like this week, guys. The bigger consideration is that Tesla's about to do a generational launch. And that's my opinion. My opinion, once we get through all this nonsense, Tesla is simply just on the verge of continuing what it started long ago, like that. And that we're still looking for like 600 or more on this. I mean, this was the plan all along. It was this at a 618 and then to a 1618, um, up to 620, 625. That's still the plan. It's just now with this type 2 and the failure, that's probably going to happen. So just settle in. This stuff, we've been talking about it for a long time. It takes a while, but now we're getting there. This is the same as the Bitcoin going to wherever it needs to go. Bitcoin getting to 160,000, it'll get there. It'll take time. But this is the bigger stuff, and then like situations such as Oracle are so mind-blowing that I know it's really tough to make sense out of that chart. But the I haven't seen moves like this since the late 90s. And that's the truth. Where you're talking kind of like a whole new valuation, whole different company. It's kind of like when Google comes out at 20-30 billion dollars IPO, but someday it's going to be 300 billion, no matter what. Just it gets there. And so Oracle's like now up there, where it's not even a $1 trillion company. And I think every one of these, you have to consider whether or not it's going to become a $1 trillion company. This will become a $1 trillion company. So until you get to $1 trillion, you keep riding this. And Meta's the same way, but Meta's more like, in terms of market cap, the top end here of now being 2 to 3 trillion. That's where Meta goes. Meta probably goes to 3 trillion. So it's pretty impressive stuff, and that's what's happening with these major ones. And Broadcom too, guys. I think you guys know how long I've been saying that. I mean, it's 360, and this is another situation where it's a 1.7 trillion, right? But it's still not even half of Nvidia, and it's on par with Nvidia in terms of playing, being in that critical AI development role. 360. So, and I'm of the opinion that Broadcom's that's a $3 trillion company to be. It's just a matter of, okay, where are we going to keep jumping on? Because this is why I've said this many, many times. Look, that was the last one. Last 4 hour was 290. Now 360. Nowhere close. Yeah, maybe. Gonna have to wait for the next opportunity. But again, this is gonna be the top list as these just continue to kind of grow to these market caps. Tesla too. I mean, Tesla's probably gonna play major catch up. And just if Tesla's um we're 1.3 trillion. We got to be thinking Tesla's going to be a $3 trillion company, because there's a handful of these that are there already as the top tier, and Nvidia being almost 4.5, 5 on its way to, is just telling you where the money's going. The size and the scale is, and so you're kind of like breaking through the top end of the limits, where you just that's how much money has been put out in the world, that you can have these size of companies, and not even really feel it like it's matters, changes day to day. Anyway, um hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. What was that? Okay, great. Thanks. um Other ideas that, just to kind of direct you guys, your eyeballs, where to be looking. I still say, and I've told you all along, this is about semiconductors controlling and leading the market, and this has been a really great start to trying to fail that signal. I mean, we had that overbought, excuse me, yeah, overbought dot with an HSI, and we paused for a few weeks. Now we go higher, and we should go higher aggressively. That's how typically we fail these signals. It's kind of like back here in early January, we hit the dot, pause a couple weeks, and really push hard. And that's what's happening here. And the monthly chart for the Sox guys is still, it's like it's like the SPY. But just so you know, we get above this 61.45. It's a whole new paradigm. And I mean that. And we've seen it in the past. It's where this then, semiconductors as you know it, as a sector, and their valuation, market caps, it just expand in a way that is mind blowing. Like, because the pattern not only did the one and the two, but now we're going to fail it with no confirmation, and we simply go to a 1618. If the semiconductor index is going to like 7,500, which is probably is, it's amazing, or higher, because if it goes ballistic, extreme, you're looking at a 10K semi index in the near future, 2, 3 years. And then that's how you get all of those other companies to $1 trillion valuations. The other two, you guys know that I've talked about these for a long time. I mean, is Taiwan Semi, been long, still long. That's just going to be another one that just these are going places where, like Nvidia did 2 years ago. I just get the feeling that these are about to kind of crack a new cycle paradigm, if you will, and just go next level. Yeah, that's $1 trillion company, and that is actually the most valuable. Taiwan Semi strategically is probably the most irreplaceable of all semis. So it's happening. It's happening before our eyes. And I think some of the obvious ones, the Broadcom and Oracles of the world, they popped off. Oracle especially um, did just something spectacular like that. We're going to have to let it come down, retrace. But after it does this retrace, and it had a shark. That was I haven't seen Oracle in a while. Didn't look at it until recently. I should have been really looking at Oracle, because look, April was a perfect bat pattern, or Gartley at the hop, and then shark again. But we'll get another opportunity with these, but they're clearly, just kind of breaking the mold and not turning back. So, what was the other one? Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft there on the daily. Here, guys, again, high level Microsoft. Who said that? Somebody said that in the Discord earlier, in reference to Meta as well. And look at that. Look at that. Look at the. That's amazing. Like, that must have just generated. I don't know. I didn't see that. Maybe. Oh, I might have had it adjusted. This ADJ button sometimes when you adjust for dividends, I take it off usually, but bat pattern like 500 here for Microsoft. It's really a high level of support developing. That's a $3.8 trillion company right there. So the upper end top techs are now, they're probably going to start eclipsing the 5 trillion mark soon. Again, just show that you want to know where all the money went. It went to these companies. All the money that they put in the circulation, it went to these companies, guys. And it will continue to do so. I mean, it's like Palantir. So all this individual stuff, Palantir was that high level at 155, now 167. Maybe an HSI today, but we have talked about Palantir since 30, and they're 400 billion. So maybe they get to 500. Someday they get to a trillion. But a lot of these obvious leaders, that's what they're doing. They're all interrelated. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are interrelated to where, if one's going to fly, the other one's going to benefit. So, really quick, let me just kind of circle back on what I just so you guys know what we should be thinking. Like, immediately now, I started today just telling you look for the 1618, 24.4 on NASDAQ. That was the target. We were assuming, I think we were assuming like a maybe a butterfly kind of a situation that would develop here because of that structure. Um, it's about 24.4, 24.5, but the immediate objective for year end is still 24.6. 24, it's that 161, yeah, 24.6 and change. And pretty much straight off, I'm really surprised we haven't had much of we had an August pause, but no real retracement or even correction. We pause, we go higher, we're all-time highs that you run. You continue to run when you're at this level. If you guys want to look at anything, let me know. Again, everything that's happening is just kind of a realization of what we've been talking about for a year. And now we got to figure out how soon it's going, not necessarily where it's going, and then maybe get some new ideas along the way. 1 second. Hold on 1 minute. All right. Really quick on Bitcoin. Um, we should be running after this month, and I think it's going to all be squeezed into that 8 week time frame. That the longer this takes to get above the all-time highs, which is above 123, um, the less likely I'm willing to lean towards something more extreme than 160. And that's about the only thing I've really kind of been considering with the whole Bitcoin outlook. I I'm looking at these kind of obvious signals that we get on the software. Why would we look for that higher if we have some dots here or here? And because a lot of them have just been, little pauses and then the resumption in the trend, pause, and then resumption, maybe the same here. But where's the month? There's the monthly. Monthly is the same kind of situation, but this should already be a failure. And monthly is probably going to be the one, absolute that tells us, all right, when we come out of the zone or we are, if HSI was to kind of break down on a monthly basis, which would take a red candle or two, uh, those would be some signs where it's probably done for now. I'm not there of that opinion. I think we're still in the uptrend and we'll continue higher until we get to the end of the year. Uh, but I'm looking for obvious signs of where should I put the limit. And you guys know 111. I'm still firmly in the camp of just let 111 do its thing, which it is, and there's 111. HSI did complete yesterday and check back today, roll over. So maybe we don't really even start moving now. Maybe a couple more weeks. That last bearish signal was July, and then we went bullish like 2 weeks later. Maybe that's what this does. Not a lot, kind of disappointing, but not that it's a bad situation or anything. It's just the moon that everybody's looking for is not going to happen just yet. It might be 2 more weeks away. Yeah. JD.com. Yeah. I think that's like Baba. Is playing catch up with the rest. Yeah, JD.com. That's one we looked at a while ago with the weekly. There's the daily. That has everything we want to see. That's like on semiconductor, maybe even better. That's at 31.45. 33.37 is the XA level. That you could get that. But I think there's weekly here too, right? Yeah, yeah. This is there you go. It's still a bigger bat. That's a nice chart. That's kind of like Baidu. And Baba's already raged. So Baidu like this made the now 114 and Baba's already at target 1 on monthly like this. So they're happening and it's probably a good idea on JD. I think that goes a lot higher. I think Baba goes a lot higher. Ethereum on the daily. 4,500. Look at that. Mm. Couple of HSIs right in that zone. That's remarkable. It's not a great. I'll call it out for what it is. Look, the fact that it's the software is pulling it off of that high. I mean, it's not the strongest of structures. I know why it is. It's because of the, and I've mentioned this to you before, that it's about this A to B, C to D is a 1618 to 314. Not, yeah, it's a 1618 ABCD. So kind of it's like a best fit works. But then you've got HSI at 4700's the number for now, where I don't expect anything. It's just going to kind of knock on that door. What about like a 4 hour? Can we get a 4 hour oversold? Yeah, like this from last week. This is what we talked about last week. Why 4300 was something to watch out for because of the bat pattern up here. So yeah. Um, hold on. Oh, here's the other one that I think is, finally reached its limit of been waiting on this for a year or all year, I should say, of the return for Solana, and it just hit. It was official last night, literally the close of that bar last night. So, um, we have this dot preceding it, and I don't like to see that. I typically want to see the T2 first and then the confirmation. So I'm watching, there's Amplified, there's HSI, and 285 could easily get retested. The other reason why I'm thinking this goes a little higher now is like this, XAB and then C, and then it should be like an 886 jump, 270. So those are, really constructive signs. BNB's all-time new highs. I mean, things aren't moving, but this stuff's actually recovering well. There was one other one. Oh, yeah, I hate to do this, but Doge, Doge kissed 30, and I'm not recommending this, but I'm really impressed. I'm something's going on here. Okay, back-to-back patterns. The thing is harmonic. And this Gartley, again, another intermediate pulling from there. Why would it? It's really about the ABCD structure. So there is a good ABCD continuation structure here at 29 cents. But that is this almost could be a type 2 here. So and then here's the channel. Like, is this what is Doge on a path like this? I mean, back to, I don't know. That doesn't show the whole chart, but 45. I don't, again, I'm not looking to play Doge this cycle, even though I did last time. But it's good to see that directional move and breakout. Just more evidence. I look, the move is going to happen. Okay, you're seeing signs. They're not coming all at once, but again, this is what we've talked about all along is happening. It's just taking longer. I mean, everyone wants Bitcoin at 1 million already, but it'll get there. But that's, the rest of them, And again, trying to like just show you guys trending, continuation things like SCY, even stuff like that. I mean, it looks good, but hasn't launched yet. Things that are launching that people talk about seem to be more aberrational. I will say that things like this bit miner, okay, that's an interesting chart to me. This is the Ethereum treasury, and I told you guys we had this dot that we had that dot back in July, and then this one. I talked about this last week as well, and it's reacting. And there's, that's a freaky kind of chart. Freaky in terms of like setting up quite well to have nothing but air to do something like this or 886 kind of move. That's possible. And what was the other one? Was it Metaplanet? Yeah, down here, a little lower. Yeah, this was the HSI looking for a full like 886 reset here. Maybe that's early. Uh, what was the other one? Oh, the other one was Clean Spark, guys. So some of the others have moved quite well. We talked about Bit Farms on Monday, and look at that thing, 252 in 4 days. Wow. One of you guys had that. I forget who mentioned this, but well done. Coming back to life. Yeah, because this was the big breakout. I know last Monday we talked about that. And that's got a ways to go. I mean, that's 252. It probably goes 3 plus 350. What was the other one? Was it Hive? Yeah, it might have been. I can't offer anything there yet, but yeah, Hive was something like counter HSI. So low floaters are these low floaters are working. Probably should be looking more at these. Look for the market to move like this. Nasdaq's up 150 right now, and just continuing to go price discovery. What's up, Shim? Bitcoin dominance or Ethereum Bitcoin? Which is the better indicator? Probably ETH Bitcoin, especially what's happened in the last 60 days. You know? And look, again, not the best, but I'll take that one. It's got a very impulsive hook on it from the top February down. So something lower. Can I get a counter HSI? Not yet. Not yet. I guess, what's better, a successful bullish pattern or a failed bearish pattern if you want it to go up? I'd like to see that thing react and then fail. But that's a pretty clean chart. And don't forget, all of it within the context of this bat pattern. And that's going to end up being a legendary setup. if you will. Truly. Yep. Strategy. I think only because Bitcoin's not moving, but that's the monthly chart. Dailies like this. There was something at 300, right? 327 is our last daily HSI at the bottom end of that channel. Uh, pour out anything. I'd love to see a pattern here. I don't know. I think, maybe in here around 320, 325. It could even go as low as 306. I just, you are at the low end of this channel, and that's all right. It's actually, look, that's not a bad place to be. Maybe just wait for that turnaround, because that thing does a 3-bar breakout, 330, 335. It's probably that then resumes it. Yeah, daily dot and the check back. It's there. I mean, and how many of those have worked? Like a lot. That's the ideal spot there. I would just, the only thing that would, for me, that would really be the best optimal kind of assertion of that whole turnaround would be getting amplified above the 50 level on the daily. Then you would know you definitely are moving. But better to buy it here than, say, up here or earlier this summer. And you're playing for 500, guys. You're looking for, if everything's going to come together, that's the continuation point to go into the end of the year and into the new year to retest all-time highs. Yep. Yeah, NASDAQ just hitting all-time new highs right now. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of other things setting up, no doubt. Um, market just trying to rip it across the board. The other one I've been looking at, guys, SMCI, there's no pattern here. We've been looking for this, bearish pattern. Wait, let it generate. There you go. A little slow. We've been looking for this thing to turn around and retest that 62 XA level, to retest the bat pattern. So that bottom lined out last week at 40, 41, and now starting to return. You're back at 45. Looking at 62. I mean, that's the goal here, and this is your stop. Like, not to go under 39. So, again, probably more stock plays than even crypto plays at this point. There's other things in crypto that are, they look fine. It's just they're going to probably take their time. And just to kind of, before I get out of here, like XRP, what's that going to do? There's market cap just kind of baselining here at this pretty bearish pattern. I'll call it that. But is this a pause? A week ago, it seemed like that we were just pausing out in this zone. Yesterday we got the bearish HSI. Not great, but probably going to just slow it down for a little while longer. And the stocks are going to continue to rage. I mean, Tesla's up another 25 today. So this stuff will have its day. I just think this is going to take time to resolve itself. Still 180 billion. Uh, let's see others. No, that's about it. I think that's what I have. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of other ones. I think I'm going to be posting more ideas in the Discord of individual stocks to take a look at. Um, yeah, stuff like here's this VST, and I know I've said this. This thing is going a lot higher. Vistra, Vegas told me about this, and it's another counter HSI that's just annihilating the pattern. It was 185, now it's 216. I know probably you guys never heard of this thing, but the chart looks phenomenal. There's other areas, but geez, there's other stocks looking really good, but this it just continues. I mean, these type of plays are just rocking. So I'll be looking at more low floaters. I'll be looking at more stuff, things like this, and really looking for these daily HSI triggers. Especially, we're going to come into earnings, guys, in about anywhere from 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks starting. And with a lot of signals like this in trending stocks, they're going to just continue to go. They're going to continue to go. Yeah, like Uber. Uber back at the beginning of August, 86 was just another high level. I can go all day. Anything else? I mean, that's how it's about all that I have because I've been posting this stuff. It's just now all really accelerating to what we've talked about. So, all right, that's what I have for today, guys. Thank you, appreciate it. I'll catch you back in the Discord. I'm gonna get something to eat, and then Nasdaq highs of the day. 280 right now, going to 400, and just continue with the plan. Continue with the plan. All right, take care. Wolf speed's 305, 306 right now too. I'll update a few more in Discord. Okay, thanks.